Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new day. It is Friday morning, it's 9:35 and it is already sticky outside. The temperature itself is not bad, it's 70 with the real feel of 76, so that's not bad, and there is a little bit of wind to help the heat, but the dew point is already 67, so that's pretty high, which means it makes it sticky outside. So, and it is. I took Gypsy out and it was all cloudy and breezy and it felt good. The sun came out and automatically all you felt was the heat and the stickiness. So, yeah, at least it's not going to be as warm as last weekend. Last weekend we were headed into that heat wave. Thank God it's over. But honestly, for this early in the summer season, we've had way too much humidity in the air. So yeah, not good. We're gonna fry out brats tonight. I know, brats again, right? But we love our brats, and it's Friday, so something simple. I'm gonna grill them out. It's not gonna be beer brats. It's just gonna be grilled out brats. So I'm gonna go to a different bakery shop. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that bakery shop. I talked about it. It's Westside Bakery. They call it Fuzzies, and it's been there for hundreds of years. Well, a lot of years. So yeah, I'm gonna get the rolls from there. Glenn wants to try to get their rolls again. He's not been happy with the other rolls. So these rolls that I'm gonna get today are actually, I think, hard on top. So. But I'll be using hot dog buns. So, alright, I'll put you on the dash cam and we'll see what we got to talk about. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is stop at the gas station. And I have to get cash out because this bakery shop is the only one that does not take anything else. They only take cash. We have two places in town that only take cash. Actually three places in town only take cash, and so I gotta stop and get some cash because I don't have any cash on me. Hope everyone is doing well, and I hope you all have a good weekend. Oh my gosh, I just almost ran over a chipmunk. Thank God he made it back to the side. I would have cried if I would have hit that chipmunk. Yes, I cry if I hit a squirrel or something. I have hit a squirrel before years ago when we were on a country drive, and the squirrel the side of the roads were nothing but trees and rocks, so you couldn't see anything coming out of it. And as we were going, a squirrel jetted out right in front of us, and I could feel that I hit him. And I looked back, and sure enough, he was laying there. And I don't laugh at me, but there's another chipmunk. Come on, guys. It's either a chipmunk or a ground squirrel. That might have been a ground squirrel. You could almost tell the shapes of them. But yes, I cried. I think I backed up and checked on him, and then moved him to the side of the road so he wouldn't get creamed again, like run over, flattened out like a cartoon animal. So gas here is $2.99. I'm just going to go here and take cash out. Yeah, we went up to $3.09 last week, but within a couple days it went back under $3. Alrighty, let's head on over to the bakery shop now. Yeah, so going back to the squirrel, I was so upset that I hit that squirrel. I cried my eyes out. Glenn kept trying to console me, and I was just so sad about hitting that squirrel. And I don't know if I ever hit another squirrel after that. I might have hit one more. I don't remember though, so that might have been the only squirrel I hit. But that shows you how much we love nature, that I would have hurt an animal. Actually, I killed an animal. Even just being a squirrel, as some would think. But that was a pretty sad day for me. So I wanted to just kind of, I don't know, kind of tell you guys how I was as a kid, what my childhood was like. So maybe you get to know me a little even better, I guess. So I think from the day I was born, I was an introvert. From the day I was born. I think I came out of my mama, and I had introvert written all over me. so yeah, I was when I was in, like, I won't say elementary school, I'll say preschool. I don't know. I don't even know how old I was, honestly. But I'm pretty sure it was before first grade. I used to partake in events at school. Christmas. I remember one Christmas at school. Again, remember I was just a baby, almost preschool, and there was a Christmas show, and I was in the Christmas show and singing and everything. And I don't remember the show itself, but parts of that time I remember, that day, is, if you remember when you were a kid, for all of us older ones, they used to have the net stockings. The red net stockings with like toys and candy in them, if you remember those. But they gave all of us kids one of those after the show, and it was full of toys and candy. And that part I remember about that Christmas, that day, Christmas season, doing the show, getting the red net stocking. And oh yeah, I do remember, it was probably another time where we saw Santa Claus, and actually my picture was taken with Santa Claus, and it was in the newspaper. My mom clipped it out, of course, like most parents do, and she had that for years and years. I don't have it currently. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, I was just a little girl in my pigtails and standing right next. I don't think I was sitting on his lap. I was standing right next to him. But that's a good memory of Christmas when I was really small. And then in that same time, that same year, I don't know if it was the same year, but For Cinco de Mayo, I participated in the Mexican dances. I didn't have like the mariachi hat or anything, the sparkling dresses, but I did our group. We were just a bunch of little ones. We dressed like the women with the white dresses and the puffy sleeves and I guess they did have a little colorful skirt to them. And I partook in the Mexican dances that year. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We took a group picture with all the Mexican dancers, and again, we were in the newspaper, and my mom kept that clipping for years. And I think all that stuff really got lost when things started happening with my mom and dad's health, and when they both went into a home. They were both in like rehabilitation homes, but yeah, she kept all those. I think there was even a newspaper clipping of my brother she kept, and my older brother, he was in the newspaper. So those are a couple of memories I remember when I was, I'm pretty sure it was preschool, because I know I went to different schools. And in elementary school, I was a little more outgoing. My mom always had us in dresses, and sometimes I wore pants, but yeah, I wore dresses and high boots a lot. And this is the 70s, and when I got to like the 3rd and 4th grade is when I discovered playing tetherball, and I got good at it. And back then in school, there was a early bird and late bird, meaning some kids had to show up for class earlier than others, but the late birds that showed up later actually got out of school later too. So it was you know. So I was early bird. I'll finish this when I come out of the bakery shop. All right, everyone. So just backing out of a small parking lot here. I came at a good time because as I was waiting for my order, a lot of people started coming in. So, all right. So, continuing on with my story about playing tetherball. So I think I was an early bird I'm pretty sure I was an early bird at the time because it got me in trouble. Or I got me in trouble because I wanted to play more than I wanted to go to school. So in the mornings before school, we used to have serious for elementary school. These were serious tetherball games. And I got really good at tetherball. So it was kind of like a tournament. We started playing before school, and so we all met out on the tetherball grounds. It sounds like a movie. And we would be playing our game, and I won quite a bit. I lost too, but I won more than I lost. But I was really good. But I was an early bird. So when the bell rang for early birds to go to class, I did not go. I stayed and played tetherball, and I did that for I don't know how many days. But the school finally called my mom and told them that I hadn't been in early bird class, that I've been in school all day, but I never made it to my early bird class. So yeah, I did that for a few days. And hey, it was just me testing how much I could get away with, you know. But yeah, my mom didn't handle it very well. She did her job as a parent, and I was grounded. And yes, I got spanked. Back then, a kid getting spanked was normal. We didn't yell abuse, child abuse. That was a way of disciplining kids back then. And yeah, I got my butt handed to me. And then I had to kneel in the corner for I don't know how long. And then I got grounded. So yeah. This was all elementary school. So I was still outgoing at that time. And yeah, eventually my mom and dad got me a tetherball pole and set to put in our backyard so I could play tetherball back there. That would just mean I was practicing to be even better than I was. So yeah, that was quite, well, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. So I had a lot of fun in elementary school. We're talking 1st to 4th grade. And then middle school was 5th grade through 8th grade. But still separated 5th and 6th graders from 7th and 8th graders. It was a big school. It was like a 2-part school, and there was a bridge in between. And the 5th and 6th graders went to one side, the 7th and 8th graders went to the other side. So I went there for 5th to 8th grade. And I still was hanging out with friends. I still had friends there in, you know, from 5th to 8th grade. I hung out with a group of us, and we hung out every day, and that's where I came to get my best friend at the time. And you know, we were best friends, and we spent the night at each other's house and did all kinds of stuff. And then I started playing city softball at that time. But when I got to high school, so I guess I can't say I was an introvert from the time I came out of my mom, because I was outgoing as a kid up to high school. And then once high school came around, I think it was then that I really started becoming an introvert. Even though I was playing city softball and had friends, and you know, even did an overnighter at one of the players' house, and but in school itself, that's where I was more of an introvert. I didn't really hang out, you know, with anyone in particular. You know, there would be days I ate lunch with this person, or there would be days I ate lunch by myself. But a lot of times I went home for lunch, because that time we were allowed to go off campus for lunch. So in high school, my house was in walking distance. It probably took me about 10-15 minutes to walk. So my dad would always, because there would be times he'd be laid off from work, and so he'd be taking care of my mom, and then he would have lunch ready for us when we came home for lunch. But you know, I can't say I had a ton of friends in high school. There was people I knew and people I played ball with, but I didn't say everyone was my friend. And I think I knew back then already you have to be careful of who you trust. And as someone in high school, that's just the way I was. I didn't trust people, because, you know, at that time, people were going out to football games on Friday nights, and my parents were very strict on me. And maybe that's a part of, you know, why I was an introvert, because I wasn't allowed to go out to parties or anything like that. And I was fine with that, because I was a loner. I just kind of like to be in my room and listen to music, and, you know, I was happy with that. I loved listening to music, but my parents were strict on me. I couldn't go out. You know, I think they allowed me to go to a Friday night football game once, and I did have a best friend in high school, but it was very, my circle of friends was very small. But there was a lot of people I knew, if you know what I mean. I knew a lot of people, but my circle of friends was very small. And I think they let me go out once to a high school football game at Friday night, and they were with my friends at that time. But I found that I didn't enjoy myself because there was so many people. I got to go to Walmart to pick up some charcoal, so I should have went the other way, but so anyway, I didn't enjoy myself at the football game, so I left early. You know, my friends were there. They're all, let's go talk to these boys or these guys, and I just wasn't into it. So I left early. So I can say my mom and dad raised me right. They were right to be strict on me, and I'm sure that's a part of who I am now, you know. So I'm glad my mom and dad were strict on me. And even back then in high school, when they were being strict on me and didn't let me go just anywhere, I didn't get mad at it or anything, you know. Like, there's a lot of rebellious teenagers that if their parents don't let them do anything, it's like the end of the world. But not for me. It was never like an angry situation. As a matter of fact, as a teenager, I hung out more with my mom than I did with other teenagers. Me and my mom, we used to go everywhere together. We used to take the city bus. We knew all the bus routes, and we had it down pat. We would get on the bus and go to the mall. Do they even still have malls? Are any malls left anymore? I know Mall of America is probably still there, but are there even any more actual malls anymore? So we used to take the bus to the mall, and we, you know, even if we were just window shopping, we'd just walk around the mall. There were times, you know, we did get some stuff, but there was always the food court, and we always had lunch there, and there was this donut shop there. Now, that's another thing about from California to Wisconsin. Back in California, we always called it the donut shop, and here in Wisconsin they call it a bakery shop. So I just obviously call it a bakery shop now. And but back then there was this donut shop in the mall, in the food circle, and they had the best custard filled chocolate long johns. Oh my gosh, there was so much custard in it. They would slice it in half and just fill the middle with custard, and it was so good. That was my favorite. We used to have this place called Yum Yum Donuts. anybody from the Bay Area, I don't know if you ever knew of a Yum Yum Donuts, but that was a place in the city where I lived. I grew up in Union City, which is in the Bay Area, across the bay. But anyway, yeah, we would just go have, me and my mom, we were best friends, I think, and yeah, I'm sure we were. If you hang out with your mom more than you hang out with your other teenagers, your mom's your best friend. And so we always went to the mall together, and we went to the movies, and yeah, we had fun. I had more fun hanging out with my mom than I did other teenagers, because all they wanted to do was go talk to guys, and I wasn't into that at that time. Oh, poor baby raccoon. But I actually didn't start dating until I was out of high school. Yeah, I didn't. When you're growing up, you say you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but it's not like a life. Maybe for some people it's a lifetime relationship, but it's just you're together for a couple days and then you're done. But as far as dating, they were also very strict with that, and I was not allowed to date. But that's okay. I mean, I think that it just allowed me to be a kid, without all the stress of boys and all that stuff. So I think it just allowed me to be a kid a little longer. So yeah, a lot of my good memories are with hanging out with my mom. Oh, that's the other thing. Somebody made it dropped it in the comments, my video on what the things I are not fond of in Wisconsin. Remember I said I talked about is there's no In-N-Out here or Krispy Kreme. There's a couple places I forgot to mention, and forgive me, I don't remember the person who said it offhand. But they said, I'm surprised you didn't mention Casper's hot dogs.